every day that you wander into an antique store and find some NES games, along with some Sega Mega Drive games, some PlayStation 1 games, and some Nintendo Wii games. This is a hidden gem shop. We're going to take a look around it, and I'm going to tell you what I spent on this NES bundle with some additional extras, and I'm going to add up the total kind of sales on eBay. And I don't know if I've got a bargain or not, but we're about to find out. So this is a kind of what I paid versus what it's actually worth. Roll the out and about stuff. Oh, and by the way, if you're new here and you like out and about content that's consistent and high quality, retro gaming goodness and plenty more, this channel's for you. Don't forget to subscribe. And here we are in an antique shop. Yes, an antique shop. I was very surprised to find some really cool retro games and consoles in here, as well as some really cool toys and board games that we all would have played when we were growing up in the 90s. So keep your eyes peeled in this episode. You also saw some kind of Pokemon trading cards just a minute ago as well. So at this point in the little hunt, I was kind of on the ground floor, having a look around, not really expecting anything, especially not retro games, and I kind of went out the back and decided, you know, it's pretty narrow here, there were a few people around, you couldn't really kind of socially distance, so I just kind of meandered back through another door, and I thought, you know, we'll just kind of have a look around, maybe there'll be something really cool. And then as I'm kind of coming back through to where the cash register was, I saw this sign here. So up we went into this majestic retro game room with a little bit of everything, and including some consoles, some games, even an NES Mini, which was modded albeit, and they were selling it, it's just on the right hand side there. I don't remember the price, but they were selling it with 500 games added in. Personally for me, not really in to kind of selling modded consoles. I think that they should always be sold in the native state, but hey, it is what it is. Now, for those of you eagle-eyed people, I have hidden one of the Gemojis in this video. It will flash on the screen for 0.1 seconds. When you see it, you must take a screenshot, or do your very best to take a screenshot and send me that screenshot. Tag me on Twitter using hashtag Team24, or drop me a DM on the Facebook group and I will send you a signed channel card. So keep your eyes peeled because it can flash up anywhere. Now, at times, part of the thrill of video game hunting or retro game hunting is finding games when you least expect it, and this was definitely one of those days that I didn't really expect to find anything. In fact, we actually went around the charity shops in this particular town, and it was quite possibly the worst charity shops I've ever been in terms of video games. You were lucky if you could even find a copy of FIFA on the Xbox 360. It was an absolute drought. So finding this, I was kind of in my element. I mean, there's good games here. Sonic Heroes, Halo Combat Evolved, really good stuff. You know, nothing that's you're going to look at and go, ooh, this is an absolute hidden gem by any stretch of the imagination. But thrifting like this for me, it just gives me such a lovely warm feeling in my gaming belly. And I just have also clocked the Sega Saturn steering wheel in that last shot. You can just see it in the top right hand corner just back then. There it is. I didn't actually notice that when I was in the store, but I own one of those. But it's cool to see. It's really cool to see, and I love the way that this room was arranged. Everything's just kind of chucked down, and it just looks amazing. I mean, we've got, see that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Terminator 2 Judgment Day board game. Now, I have never ever seen a T2 Judgment Day board game, so that was really freaking awesome to see. We've got old wireless kind of radios, a couple of Wii games stashed behind there, Monopoly Batman. Don't quite know what the eccentric zooming was then, but we do pan back in to this little beauty, Donkey Kong the board game. So much good stuff in here, so many memories, and I just absolutely love it. Now, if this video gets to 350 likes, I'll go back and I'll do another tour, because I'm led to believe they get a lot of games in, because I kind of found this out. They get a lot of games in quite regularly. So 350 likes, I'm handing the reins over to my amazing viewers. Get on it, guys. Do your worst. So at this stage in the little hunt, I was still up on the first floor. We have some Star Wars Tazos there, and I just wanted to check this last room before I go downstairs and find the cream of the crop for this particular store. I've got a bit of Lego. I mean, it's really cool. It just absolutely oozes character, and whilst antiquing might not be for you, it's not really for me, but you know, you go to little thrift stores like this, and this is where you find your gems. You've got little kind of comics going on, really good stuff. I do think prices were perhaps a little bit, and check it out, Woolworths, I mean retro or what? Prices were probably kind of at the top end of what I wanted to pay. But in this episode, like I said in the introduction, we're going to do what I paid for the bundle versus what the eBay sold listings were, the most recent ones. So stay tuned. Oh, and have you spotted the hidden Easter egg yet? One of the Gemojis, have you spotted it yet? Keep your eyes peeled. So back downstairs we go, and we are greeted with an NES bundle, some Sega Mega Drive games, some PlayStation 1 games, some PSP and more. You're going to hear the store kind of atmosphere now, and then we're going to walk back to the game room. So don't go anywhere, check out these retro games.
Let's go. Yes, he's just popped out back to get something for me. Good night, sir. Thanks very much. No problem.
Nice.
Bye.
Sweet.
Adapter.
Yeah. So you saw it in the glass cabinet, and here is the NES console itself. Pins, this actually looks in really good condition on the inside. I don't know if you can actually pick it up on the camera, but the plastic has some slight yellowing, as we know was due to kind of UV exposure with a reaction with the chemical bromine within the plastic. There's a very easy fix. I've done a guide on it. There's even a guide on my website. I've had kind of the de-yellowing tutorial. So yeah, here we go. This is the console itself, and this was for sale for £50 with just the two controllers and all of the relevant kind of cables, okay? So I did kind of like barter them down a little bit, but I'm going to show you everything that I got first. So we have the console unit itself, which we'll kind of just chuck down there, and a very, very dirty NES Zapper, priced individually at £15. Now, I didn't notice this in the store, but unfortunately it has some electrical tape wrapped around the flex, which I'm a little bit annoyed at because it takes away for just how kind of good this is. But nonetheless, if it works, that's fine. I actually don't own a CRT TV to be able to test this on, but they did say if I manage to test everything and there's anything wrong, I can take it back. So that was actually sold separately to the NES. There were 3 games as well that I didn't pick up because I already own them on the NES shelf behind me. So we've got all like the cables and controllers here. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so the controllers, again, not bad condition at all. Again, slight yellowing like the top of the NES console. Clearly this has been sat under some UV lights. And then we have like power brick and, you know, the kind of relevant cables in here to be able to hook it up to the TV. Now, in terms of games, I'm going to do the NES stuff first. Then there was a really nice Mega Drive pile. And in that Mega Drive pile that you saw on the footage, there was one game that I didn't own and I picked it up. So I've left the prices on these, and then I'm going to tell, so you can kind of see the individual prices, and then you'll know exactly what I paid at the end. So first up then, we've got WrestleMania Challenge on the NES, individually priced at £10 with a slipcase. This is a non-branded slipcase, but that really does not bother me in the slightest. Condition-wise, it looks pretty darn good. There's a little bit of ink on the back there, but on the whole, this is a really nice console in terms of its kind of aesthetics. I actually really like this version of wrestling on the NES. I'm very much looking forward to hooking it here in the retro corner and having a little blast on the Sony TV. Next up, we have Solar Jetman, individually priced at £7, but we'll disregard that because we're doing total price versus total worth. So never actually played this, and I did pick up all the games that I didn't own. So anything you're seeing today, I don't already own in my NES game collection. Next up then, Shadowgate, which is like a first-person RPG kind of dungeon crawly kind of game. Played it a very long time ago, but I've never kind of touched it since. So, and it's not one I see around that often. Again, all of these have slipcases, which I think is a really lovely touch. Here then we have Defender of the Crown in an official Nintendo slipcase, individually priced at £8. So I actually was kind of looking through these prices thinking, they're top-end prices, okay? These were top-end prices. These were not cheap. Next up then, Dragon Ninja, another non-branded slipcase, individually priced at £12. Cartridge, as with all of the cartridges, they're in very nice condition. There's minimal scratching on the sticker label down here, but yeah, that's not too bad. Looking forward to playing that. I really don't give my NES, like my GameCube really, I don't give it enough love. I really need to. Now I've got this kind of more easily accessible area for the retro game stuff. It's going to be easy for me to sit here and play on my screen over there. Next up then is Kabuki Quantum Fighter. Awesome. Individually priced at £8 with an official Nintendo slipcase. Again, I've never played it. I only really played like the AAA titles on the NES, the really well-known ones growing up as a little girl and going around to my cousins. I never kind of had the more obscure ones there. And then this one, the most expensive out of the lot, Prince of Valiant. This was priced at £25. Again, cartridge only. This does go for a fair bit boxed, but as you guys can see, the value is naturally kind of depreciated because everything is unboxed. Now, in terms of the additional little bits, I picked up a Wii game, nothing overly special here, but we have X-Men Origins Wolverine. I know I paid over the odds for this, but hey, I didn't own it, and I thought it looks like the kind of game that I would actually really enjoy. And then finally, I think you'll be super proud here, missing manual unfortunately, but we have Rocket Knight Adventures boxed. Again, I'm just going to show you guys, missing manual, okay? So yeah, not too bad at all. Don't see this round often, but when I saw it in the store, I knew that it was one that I didn't own. Like I said, I owned everything else in there, including all the PS1 stuff. So pretty darn happy. Now what I've done is I've gone onto eBay I've had a look at the sold listings for all of the games, the Zapper individually, and the console with 2 controllers individually. And I've looked on the sold listings, and rather take an average this time, I've just looked at the last sold listing that mimics this. So for example, what you're going to see for this is an unboxed, pretty much replica of what I have here. Sorry, boxed with no manual, if I can get my words out. And we're going to take a look. So I'll put on screen now what I paid, and I'm going to add up what it's worth. Let's go. Okay, that is actually quite surprising. I actually thought going into this that I'd paid a little bit too much, but here's what I paid. And based on the sold listings, the very last one, so this is not an average of sales, this is the very last sale of each game in its state, this is the price. £132.79. So I didn't get a huge deal by any stretch of the imagination, but I still had a lot of fun going out and finding these amazing little retro games, particularly because I don't own them. I'm going to give them all a little clean up, and I'm going to give some time to the NES right here in the retro corner of this amazing lady lounge. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe. Like I said, plenty of out and about stuff, £5 game challenges. We met our like challenge mark for me to do a £10 PS4 game challenge. And I've also been asked over and over again, why don't I resell the games that I buy in the £5 CEX game challenges? I may well start to do that with the current gen stuff, so stay tuned because we're fine tuning some stuff here for content and future episodes for you. But for now, please subscribe, share this video, and if you're kind enough, click that join link if you want to become a sponsor of Team 24. We've got different Gemojis for you to use. I call them Gemojis, emojis, Gemma, Gemojis. Haha, it's not really that clever. But anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. See you soon.